Well, what will be the next Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or The Fault in Our Stars? A book or a series that will keep young adult readers reading. Well, Allison Streit is here from the Calgary Public Library with some suggestions. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for being here.
Of course, thanks so much for having me.
What is it with these young adult readers? They can be fickle. How do you keep them engaged?
So when kids first start to read, they love it. But as they start to have to do more for school, they start to see it as work instead of pleasure. So we really want to keep teens reading. Basically, if teens aren't reading during their adolescent years, they're not going to be reading as adults.
Oh, okay.
So there are some very simple tips to keep them reading. The first one is they can read whatever they want.
Oh.
So teens should be empowered to choose what they're interested in instead of sticking with classics or what their parents like. The second rule is they don't have to finish the book.
Oh.
I don't finish books if I don't like them. You don't finish books if you
I
don't
don't.
like them.
Who's got the time, right?
So many teens will pick up more books if they feel like they're not stuck with them.
Oh, okay. That's
And
a great tip.
The last tip is all reading counts.
Oh.
So whether it's a graphic novel,
Yes.
nonfiction, a cookbook, anything like that, all that kind of reading counts. Now, some teachers or parents might disagree, but studies have shown that reading just a little bit every day really improves teens' lives.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I think reading improves everybody's lives.
Absolutely.
So there you go, teens included. So you've brought in some wonderful suggestions
Yes.
for us to keep the teens engaged right from the Calgary Public Library, so anybody can go and get these. Let's start with this one.
So the first one, Blood, Bullets, and Bones, this is a history of forensic science.
Oh, cool.
So everyone has a good idea what forensic science is because of CSI and
Of course.
those types of shows. This one is all about the history, so the first test for arsenic poisoning to figuring out how blood spatter analysis or DNA analysis helps solve crime.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's a very good mix of history and science.
In a few years, my daughter is going to love that.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What about this one?
The Lifeboat Click by Kathy Parks. So much fun. It's been described as the life of Pi meets Mean Girls.
Oh, you're kidding.
Which sounds
Wow.
ridiculous, but it's so fun. Basically, our main character, Denver, she is at a beach party when
Okay.
a tsunami hits.
Oh.
And she's swept out to sea with 4 of the most popular kids in school.
Okay,
Who
so I
have
get
made
the
her-
Life of Pi connection there.
Yes.
And then Mean Girls.
And because they've made her life a living hell since she's been in high school. So it's a nice adventure book while they try to figure out how to survive, but it's also, there's a lot of dark comedy.
This is great. I love that idea. I would read that.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
It's a great pick for adults, too.
Right?
Yes.
And that happens, doesn't it, with YA? A lot of adults really like reading young adult fiction.
That's so true.
Cool. Okay, what about this one?
This one, None of the Above by I.W. Gregorio, is just wonderful. The main character, Kristen, has everything going for her in her life. She just got accepted to college. She has a wonderful boyfriend. She was crowned homecoming queen.
Oh.
And then she finds out that she's intersexed.
Oh.
And this, before she even has a chance to kind of wrap her head around this diagnosis, this information is shared all over her school.
Oh.
And it's so hard for her. And it basically causes her to question her whole life, her
Sure.
friends, her family, her boyfriend. So this is a wonderful choice for teens that are going through the same challenges that
Sure.
Kristen is, or even teens that are just wondering, what does
is
it
this?
mean to be intersexed? How does that affect your life?
Oh my goodness, that sounds fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Great mix. I'm just loving this. Okay, what about this guy?
Seconds by Brian Lee O'Malley. So Brian Lee O'Malley is a Canadian superstar. He wrote the Scott Pilgrim graphic novel series.
Oh, yes.
And this is another graphic novel about Katie, a young chef. She's doing great in life until basically one day it all falls apart. But she meets a mysterious girl who lets her know she can have a do-over.
Oh.
Basically, you write down your problem, you eat a mushroom, and you go to sleep, and then the next day your problem is gone. And Katie tries this, and it works.
Oh.
So she decides that she's going to make her life as perfect as possible, but that has a lot of unintended consequences.
Oh, I like this.
So I just
and
want to
so many
mention-
great pictures too, right?
Yeah, graphic
Can we do
novels
this?
are
Can we
so
show a quick?
wonderful.
Yeah, let's have a
For
quick boo with that.
teen readers. They
Yeah.
often have intricate storylines, these great characters, beautiful drawings, but they're short and quick. So teens have that sense of accomplishment,
Oh.
finishing a book in 1 or 2 sittings, and it gives them the confidence to pick up the
pick up
next
another
book
one.
and the next book.
Oh, that's a great
Yeah.
idea. Okay, and finally,
We have a cat a witch, and this one's really interesting. Sunny is a young girl growing up in Nigeria, but it's a little bit hard on her since she's albino and she can't be out in the sun for
Oh.
long periods of time. But she meets 2 friends, and they introduce her to the world of the leopard people, where your worst feature becomes your greatest asset. So together they kind of make this coven, and they're on a mission to find a man who's been kidnapping local children.
Oh.
So this one is also very great because there's not a lot of books being published in North America that take place in Africa.
Absolutely.
So this is a really interesting book, especially if your teen wants to read outside their horizons.
For sure, and learn something about another place. Fascinating. And of course, all these books available at the library.
Yes.
That's so great. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
so much
you.
great stuff there.